Filmz TV præsenteres i samarbejde med Solid.
Explore's been hit. Explore, do you read? Explore, over, explore. Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure. Dr. Stone detached. You must detach. If you don't detach, that arm's going to carry you too far. Listen to my voice. You need to focus. I'm losing visual of you. In a few seconds, I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now.
I rummet kan ingen høre dig skrige. Det skrækindjagende faktum bliver Sandra Bullock konfronteret med i Gravity, denne uges og måske endda hele årets allerstørste premierefilm. Og Filmz TV har talt både med Bullock og filmens instruktør Alfonso Cuarón. I filmen spiller Bullock og George Clooney to astronauter, der er i fuld gang med at reparere Hubble-teleskopet i det iskolde, lufttomme og tavse verdensrum, da noget pludselig går galt. Rutinemissionen udvikler sig prompte til en nervepirrende kamp for overlevelse. Det vil være en skam at afsløre mere af denne uforudsigelige, pragtfulde perle, men vi kan da godt afsløre, at der taler om en fuldkommen fantastisk film, der forkæler sanserne med bjergtagende billeder og majestætisk musik, og som med blot få ord og den vidunderlige Bullock i storform, gang på gang får tårkanalerne til at vibrere. Det er del med noget af en bedrift, især når man tænker på, at størstedelen af filmen er blevet optaget i en kasse på 3x3 meter, hvor Bullock udførte sine scener, som derefter blev overført til det computerskabte verdensrum. Filmens fænomenale 3D-billedside er i den grad med til at styrke fornemmelsen af, at man vitterligt er i verdensrummet sammen med Bullock, og lydsiden spiller også en stor rolle. Nøjagtigt som i virkelighedens verdensrum er der ingen lyd i rummet i Gravity, hvilket kun gør filmoplevelsen endnu mere gribende og frygtindgydende, især fordi vi ikke hører de flyvende, dødsensfarlige vragdele i god tid.
Mission abort. Repeat. Mission abort. Explorer, this is Kowalski confirming visual contact with debris. Debris is from a BSE sat. Repeat. I have
Dr. Stone requesting faster transport.
We have to go. We have to go, go, go.
Kennedy reports meteorological conditions. Go, go.
Houston Explorer, copy.
Husk, at du kan læse vores komplette 6-stjernede anmeldelse af filmen inde på Filmz. Gravity er som sagt instrueret af mexicanske Alfonso Cuarón. Han er en af de mest kreative og påhitsomme filmmager i branchen. Han gjorde sig for alvor bemærket med det vovede mexicanske drama Og din mor, og han fik sit store Hollywood-gennembrud med den tredje Harry Potter-film, Harry Potter og fangen fra Azkaban, en af Potter-seriens allerbedste kapitler. 2 år senere, i 2006, lavede han Children of Men, en både rørende og rystende fremtidsfabel, hvor i vores verden er ved at gå under, fordi mennesker ikke længere kan få børn. Men mens både Children of Men og Gravity er allerhelvedes intense og ofte temmelig sørgmodige, så er Cuarón til gengæld særdeles glad og imødekommende, da vi møder ham i London.
It's interesting to me, like if you look at the last 3 big movies you've done, they all kind of sort of take place in a sort of otherworldly alternative place, whether it's like a magical place that has magical rules, or if it's an alternative future, or if it's outer space. Is there something about our real world that disinterests you?
No, actually, and in Children of Men, the funny thing is I was trying to make a comment about the present. You know, it's everything that, all the visuals that you see in the background are visuals that are based upon photojournalism or newsreels, you know, because we wanted to make a film about the state of things right now. Gravity is about the real world. It's just the real world over there. I mean, we didn't do a film that takes place in the future or in a comic book reality. The technology is the technology that exists.
You're working so much with so many different kind of technologies, with choreography and 3D, so many elements. Is it difficult to keep you in touch with the humanity of the piece in the middle of all
No,
that?
because all of those are tools for precisely that. I mean, the core and the point of that is your subject matter, your theme, and the emotional truthfulness, and everything around are just tools to convey that. And I believe in cinema, and I believe in cinema as a language to convey those emotions.
Mm-hmm. And also I have to ask about the sound design. Of course, it's very different from ordinary sci-fi in that you don't hear the sound just like it is in outer space. Was that also sort of a fight for you to be allowed to do that?
Well, it was not really a fight, because if anything, they leave me alone. They really respect what I'm doing, and I have freedom to do my stuff. Yeah, we try. What we incorporate is music. there's no sound space, but there's music in films. So we use music, and what we use, same as the sound, that is very literal in the sense of the geography, meaning that you have a surround system and you have sound coming from different places depending of the geography of the characters or the things. But by the same token, the music is used in a surround kind of system. Steve Price composed the whole score thinking of that. So music comes from different speakers, different music, different instruments come off different speakers and are constantly moving. Sometimes following the action, and sometimes clashing with other sounds and with other harmonies, creating this dynamic and very immersive experience.
Yeah, and this movie where sound really also plays a big part because you're so alone with the characters, and now there's a lot of sound going on in the background as well. It's amazing. It's
yeah,
perfect.
You're talking about sound, and then there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, no, and the another thing is, Steve, the only limitation I put to Steve is I didn't want percussions. So. He created all these basically these action pieces without percussions that is against the common knowledge nowadays.
Look, we need to get the hell out of here. Need some help there, man? No, don't wait for us. Man down! Man down! Explorer's been hit.
Bagefter talte vi med filmens stjerne, Sandra Bullock, en af de absolut største navne i Hollywood. Mange husker hende måske bedst fra den første Speed fra 1994, det klassiske actionbrag med Keanu Reeves og Dennis Hopper, hvor Bullock er en af passagererne på en bus, som springer i luften, hvis den sænker farten. Et simpelthen perfekt koncept til en hestblæsende actionfilm, der nærmest har speederen i bund fra start til slut.
This is much better.
Toeren fra 1997, Speed 2 Cruise Control, er til gengæld noget frygteligt bras. Bullock har dog primært slået sine folder inden for komediesangeren, lige fra 90'er-hittet Mens du sov, til nyere romantiske komedier som Agent Catwalk og The Proposal med Ryan Reynolds. Men de seneste år er hun også begyndt at tumle med mere seriøse roller. Hun brillerede i en mindre birolle i den Oscar-belønnede Crash, og hun vandt en Oscar for sin indsats som en superdetermineret sydstatsamerikaner i The Blind Side. Men science fiction film har Bullock til gengæld ikke ligefrem boldret sig i. Gravity er faktisk den første af slagsen på Bullocks CV, siden den tåbelige og temmelig underholdende Demolition Man fra 1993.
This morning, Simon Phoenix escaped from this cryo facility. We are, quite frankly, not equipped to deal with the situation.
You haven't really done sci-fi since Demolition Man. They're kind of different films, I guess you would say.
Well, I mean, sci-fi doesn't usually include the women.
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, it has in the past, but it's not something also that gets made very often either. It has to be I think, a pretty special story. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, look, I'm just happy to be a part of it. Cool. I'm just happy to get a job.
So it's not because you've been adverse towards the genre, it's just the right script hasn't come up?
Nothing had come up. I mean, I don't recall anything having come up since Demolition Man.
No.
That was sci-fi.
Wow.
Nothing.
But it must have been such an intense process, I mean, and also so difficult because I guess you worked a lot in this 3x3 meters, 9x9 feet box. How did that work with the LED lights?
You were put in a box that felt like a lot of these, with a little square in front of your face where the camera came in, and then you performed everything from the waist up. You spun, you did everything, and then when you got to the wire system, you were hung on 12 wires, and you floated, and you were able to do all the full body work there. We had so many contraptions, but the very cool thing about the whole thing was that everything that we used had been designed just for this and was a prototype, never been used before. The genius behind it, that literally they didn't know if it would work up to the day before we started shooting, because one of them had a mishap. So it's amazing to me that when people are faced with a challenge, they go, this doesn't exist, we can't do it because this doesn't exist, and they all go, you know what, let's put our minds together and be creative, and they did, and it's just, that's why you have the end result of this.
And you were listening to Alfonso's voice and also some music came through. What sort of sounds and music were you playing?
Oh, I had thousands of pieces. I mean, it was everything from whale sounds to just ominous noises, to Radiohead, to pieces of, concertos, to, just various, it was more essences than it was actual songs. Nothing with lyrics. It was just musical. It's all melodic.
But having to really hit the beats, and because it was really tightly choreographed, the whole thing, right? Was it difficult to keep a grasp of the humanity of the whole thing, of the character?
Completely. I mean, not to keep a grasp of the humanity, to find the emotional level of the character. I mean, the humanity of it would be a lot easier, but you had to get to these emotional levels that were often shot out of sequence and so disjointed, and you had to connect them all together, and that was on a daily basis very, very frustrating. But you know, it became the norm. You know, it's just because it wasn't a way I was used to working didn't mean we couldn't figure out how to make it work. So like everyone else, they had to invent a new system. I had to invent a new system as well. But I think the beauty of it is that it'll come in very handy later on. You know, I didn't like it at first, but I ended up really loving it by the end because I developed a whole new skill.
But also, it must also be a special kind of pressure also to have to, you know, drive the emotional piece of the film. Primarily you, because you're the main character, and a lot of times you're all alone in the film.
I never thought about that. I think primarily because when we were shooting, the technology side of everything was the main character. The technology was, you know, I had to start here and end here because the special effects guys needed me to do it. This light had to be just this way. We had to work this way with the camera and float this way because the camera, and it was always about the camera, the technology, the LED lights, and everyone else. The actor was like number 12, which was healthy because I think had I thought about that while I was sitting in there, I would have just lost it. There was already enough pressure on myself thinking that I wouldn't be able to pull off just the job that I had, that if you start thinking about, I'm the only one here, and that's if it doesn't work, it's my fault, which a lot of times it is. That's a stress that I don't think I could have handled at the time.
I'm running out of time, but just very briefly, does this give us any hope of Speed 3 with you, Keanu, in space?
Yeah,
that would be a great setting.
know. There shouldn't have been a Speed 2. Keanu was the only smart one in that scenario. So yeah, he got off the bus in time.
Cool.
I did not.
So, no Speed 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
that's great.
Sadly.
No, we can still enjoy watching the first one.
The first one is worth watching.
Husk som sagt, at Gravity har dansk biografpremiere i dag, og vi gentager mægtig gerne, at det er en film, der skal ses, og helt afgjort i 3D. Men inden vi runder helt af, præsenterer vi lige en lettere bizarre sludder, som jeg havde med Cuarón om flag, accenter og nationaliteter, som vi kaster os ud i, mens kameramændene justerede deres udstyr, før interviewet for alvor gik i gang. En lille snak, der måske var med til at forklare nøjagtigt, hvorfor instruktøren valgte at placere sin seneste historie adskillige 100 kilometer over jordoverfladen. Og så håber jeg jo ikke, at Mads Mikkelsen eller andre af mine danske landsmænd vil lynche mig efter udsendelsen. Tak for denne gang, og på gensyn.
Yeah, man.
Hello, so nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you
fresh?
coming from?
I'm from Denmark.
Yes, I recognize the accent.
Really? You do?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or not, because I'm really, I don't like the Danish accent normally. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It just sounds like a caveman. It's just so brutal in a way. It's just so harsh. Like when Mads Mikkelsen talks, it just makes me cringe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The only question remains. Will you yield? In time?
It's just a tough, thick accent, right?
You know, like usually is your neighbors that criticize you for that. I didn't know that you guys criticize yourself.
Oh yeah, I know. But I don't really like my nationality even. Yeah, so.
Oh, you don't like your nationality?
No, I don't like my country. I don't like anything about the Danes.
Let me put this way. I don't like any country.
You don't like any country?
I don't like countries. I think it's a stupid thing.
So that's actually the reason you made Gravity, to go into space, just to get away from the countries.
Hey, look, you see over there, you don't see the stupid colors in all the different countries. You know, it's just such a beautiful thing over there.
That's a very nice thought. Yeah.
But I like people of every country.
Wow.
I just don't like countries.
Okay.
I don't like flags. I don't like all that stuff.
And we actually have the oldest flag in the world, so I have to apologize for that as well. I think we actually
I don't like
the
flags,
so
no. Yeah.
So now you hate the Danes as well.
The red and white. You know the weird thing about you guys, that in your birthdays you put your flag.
I know.
That is not cool.
No, I know.
That is so not cool.
I know.
Oh, why your flag for your birthday,
crazy.
man? It's like.
Anyway. But let's change the subject to Gravity before I start cheering up about Denmark and how a crappy country it is.
It is not a crappy country, and actually I dig your country a lot.
Cool.
Husk, at du kan finde alle vores tidligere Filmz TV-udsendelser på Filmz under Filmz TV-fanebladet, og også på videovideo.dk, i iTunes og via vores gratis video-app.